Hey guys, it's Teneille. I'm back with another video. I wanted to go ahead and actually do something a little bit different, especially given the current, atmospheric climate that we're in, as it pertains to what's going on with the shootings, with the protests, with the riots, all that. And I went ahead and actually got my boyfriend on board and his friend Sean, and we're actually going to have a conversation about what's going on and basically offer a different perspective, because it seems like we're hearing a lot of one-sidedness. A lot of people are actually making a lot of statements that just all over the place. So we're going to go ahead and get started. And of course, I guess I'm interested in, especially with a black man's perspective, because it seems like all I'm hearing about is everyone's talking about the riots, everybody's talking about the protests, everybody's talking about the shootings. All that is definitely very, very important, but I think people are not actually addressing one of the main issues here, and that's the daily plight of a black man. What do y'all think as far as how that's being addressed, or you know what I'm saying? Because I really think that plays a big part into all of what's going on.
It's glossed over as usual, because a lot of people that's, I guess you would say, trying to speak for the black man really aren't men. So they have a lot of, I would say, immature viewpoints, and they haven't really educated themselves about their blackness. So
yeah,
they kind of just repeat what they hear from the next guy in the barbershop, and not really what they've experienced, or know their friends that have experienced it. It's like, oh well, you know, we gotta do, but it's like, all right, dog, we done heard that.
Mm-hmm.
Like, yeah. It's like, how about we get on one wavelength and actually adopt what we know we need to do, because we seen it be done. We seen it be done. We saw how powerful it was when it was done. It had to be executed. So I don't know if anybody really is looking that far into it to say, but how are the black men feeling every day? Because I can say for me, when I log in, I'm getting a lot of I feel dated rhetoric about me. Then I'm seeing murder of people that look like me, and it's like, okay, I guess I'll log out, because it's not the day for that. But then I go to the next app, and it's just the same thing. And you know, it's too many generalizations about us that I feel like shouldn't even stick anymore. But some kind of way we keep sticking it to us. And we, you know,
when you say we, who do you mean?
We, both sides. Like I told you, the gender wars is online all day. It's happening right now. After. I mean, we just seen the footage, and we right back to gender wars, talking about whatever nonsense. It's like that don't. You didn't notice that ain't helping us. So
that's definitely a problem for me. You know, like you see all the time is as far as like, I think we the biggest problem that we have every day, like you said, we catch it from all sides. And we are the only ones that catch it from all sides. And I think as pertains to certain people, you can't play both sides of the fence. You know what I mean? It's either,
this is true.
You can't sit up there and, because you see what happened to that gentleman in Minnesota, George Floyd, and start saying that, you know, we're kings.
Exactly.
We're kings.
But last week you talked about niggas.
Yeah, you can't. We
Niggas
can't
is
be
trash.
niggas is trash.
Exactly.
Nobody want to be faithful. Nobody want to be
Which
loyal.
one is?
Play your. You know what I mean?
Let's not forget the constant quoted meme of real men do this.
Oh yeah.
And then it's
God.
a list of
Yeah, exactly. Some tatted up guy with a girl. You know what I mean? He's tatted up with his girl in the living room. They're both naked eating a slice of a fucking ham sandwich or something.
Goals. Relationship goals.
right.
Yeah, and it's like we're supposed to be like this. We're supposed to build together and all this.
It's nothing about building. They're literally just eating.
Exactly.
They're building nothing.
Said
I don't
that,
see any.
so that's real normal.
I don't even know what they bought. I'm offended because I don't know what they.
Yeah.
You know, like what pie did they order?
Exactly. Not to mention, I don't have two sleeves. I got some tats, but I don't have two sleeves. You know what I mean?
Oh my gosh.
So what are you trying to say?
I'm not qualified.
Yeah, exactly. I'm not a real. Yeah, it's bullshit. But I think between, you know, you look at that just women doing that, or then you look at how we are in the world. You know, a lot of us are not given anything growing up. We're taught how to survive. Mm-hmm. We're taught to respect everybody, you know, live a certain way, you know, try to get a job, things like that. But then, you know,
a good job.
Yeah, try to get a good job. And we're not taught anything, and you know, of how to get out of this cycle. And the problem becomes, you know, because we have all these aspirations and these goals and these dreams that they get, you know, they just get on because of what happens. You know, we learn from an early age, you know, about cops and how they really gonna treat us. We learn, you know, as we're on the fly, we learn about how love really works. Yeah, man, like I said, okay, we can't, you know, pick a side. You know what I mean? We ain't perfect, but no one is. But don't let the fact that you're mad at the person that you dealt with for a while, you know, be the reason you generalize all black men in a box. And then later on, because a death happened, you're back on our side for whatever reason. I know some people may say, well, all because I'm saying this don't mean we want you to die. It's not the point. It's not what I'm saying. The thing about it is, when you post those things, when you say those things, people hear that. You have people that think like that. People that really feel that way. That's why you hear women talk about all the time, like men ain't niggas ain't. And again, you're generalizing that and you're saying that this is what it is. You're putting a stamp on this is what it is. That's not fair. We're not perfect. This is about just what other people do to help that negative stereotype about us. Perpetuates that stereotype about us, and it's not cool. It's not cool. It's all those ain't the same.
Yeah, because then you mentioned that, like, that adds to the stress of a black man, why oftentimes black men die before their wives and, you know, and women in their lives, just because it's a lot of stress.
We come out the gate with trauma.
Yeah.
Like that, the neighborhoods we living in, like I talk about all the time, like we had a lot of friends in the neighborhood, and you know, you be outside one day and the next day that's the end of that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, and at the time you can't wrap your mind around that. You haven't matured yet. Like, and that stuff sets with you.
It does.
And you know, on top of that, we like I always said, we never really was taught properly. Like, the emotional maturity factor is it's like nil. You know, like from day one, it's like you gotta hold it in, don't cry, don't do none of that.
Yep.
So now you become this like ticking time bomb in a way. And it comes out in poor fashion, like whether it's verbal abuse or domestic. It's not but it's not acknowledged like it should. It's kind of like everything, mostly it's just even within the community we gloss over, we just brush it aside. It takes a toll because you gotta like you gotta take a lot of that leader role early as a kid. and especially depending on how the household is set up.
Yep.
And you know, the ones that are fortunate with both parents, you know,
Yep.
they make it happen. And even the ones that have one or the other or neither, they had a grandmother, they made it happen though, you know.
Yeah.
And that's the elephant in the room that it's just like we ain't gonna.
Everybody's quick to be like that generalization. This is it. This is the situation, or I don't like this, or niggas this, what case may be. But it's never a situation about trying to understand why they're like that. It's always that selfish outlook on it, as I wouldn't do that to that person, or they do that to me. And understand that a lot of men have been through a lot just coming up. I put myself out there, for example. When I was a kid growing up, my father was at the crib, but he wasn't in my life. You know what I'm saying? He was a guy that literally, his dad took him out of school in the 2nd grade to help him work in the cotton fields. And he never got an education. He never went back to school, none of that. He was completely 2nd grade education. That was his life. So, me, my whole life, as I'm going through school, and as I'm doing things, and he sees potential in me, and at the time I didn't realize that, the first thing he would always do with me was cuss me out. I was always, you fat mother, you ain't you never gonna be. You know what I'm saying? I didn't have my cousins as I got older because I had to move away. So, I mean, it would be days I would go to school, people didn't know how to smile on my face, I'm cool with everybody, but at the same time, my pops just cussed me out. We got into a big ass fight, and the cops was in my crib at 4 in the morning, you know, all types of stuff. My mom couldn't really protect me, things like that. You know, I was good at basketball, but I couldn't even really play basketball because I had to take care of my family because my family couldn't work. You know what I mean? And those type of things affect you. It's just you. It's like, what do you do? So as I got older, and I got my first job, and you know, even when I didn't work because I wanted extra money. I worked because I had no choice. I didn't have a choice of, well, you know, just go to school and go to college and, you know, play ball. It was like, no.
Work for the company.
Right. You have to go to work after you leave school because your parents can't get any food in the crib and you're the only one that can work. Those things sit with you. So you grow up thinking that people people need you, got to depend on you, things like that. So as you get older, or as I got older, I wanted to start having a little freedom and start doing what I wanted to do as I got older. You know, because I've been so, you know, from the age of 11 years old, when I first got my first, you know, job, and so I got my first real job at 16, it was always about, damn, I gotta like provide. I was gotta be that other person to help out. So, you know, during that time, I didn't have a chance to really do what I wanted to do with women and stuff like that. When I got my chance, I wasn't taught how to treat a woman. That wasn't in my house. My dad did just cuss me out because my mom out, sister out. That was never the situation. My situation was I saw women and I looked at them as food. Oh, damn, she look good. She bad. I gotta have that. And then I finally started to get that. And the situation was I wanted it more. And it's not because I'm trying to be selfish, but I wasn't taught. Nothing came out of that household about how I should really treat a woman. Nothing. My mom's trying to tell me, but at the same time, she can't teach me how to be a man. She can give me certain nuggets and things like that I need in my life, but she couldn't teach me what my father should have been teaching me. And this isn't a bat to bash him. But again, as those things happen, I'm learning on the fly. I'm learning how to be a man on the fly. I'm learning that what women like. I'm learning that I like what women like. So I'm going to do this particular thing to attract women. You know what I'm saying? This is what I shoot. Women say they like the dude to act like this, or they do this.
Right.
So you morph into it. Your mind changes and say, I want that. I'm going to be this person. And then what happens? Now it starts to work. Now you're coming. You're like, I like this life.
Right.
But you're not realizing that you're creating situations with these women because now you're hurting them. And they're saying, well, damn, why you treat me like this? And it's like, damn, well, you mean I'm doing me. That's like, get out of there, boy. I ain't even. You don't know how to love a woman. You don't know how to do that because, again, I'm learning as I go. But you don't realize that, though, because my past ain't your problem. What's your problem is the fact that your men are treating you right now. Now, am I right for doing that? Hell no, I'm not right for doing that. But, again, I'm just telling you, me growing up, I wasn't given those tools and things like that. So before you start to spew that rhetoric about this and that. Try to understand what he's been through. Try to understand, and that's just me servicing of what has happened in my life. But try to understand why your man is the way he is. Try to understand why he has the mentality he has. Because
I guess to all the people who are trying to, understand why talking about the plight and the daily struggle of a black man and how it pertains to what's going on currently with the shootings and killings and riots, how would y'all explain that? Like, why is it important to talk about this when we're talking about,
Because when we get out there in the real world and we get out there with these cops, all we have left is anger.
Yeah.
All we have is anger. When we see people going on TV, you see how your uncles or your parents grew up. You see how you've been affected. I mean, even myself, I've had 4 cops pull guns on me 4 different times. You know what I'm saying? But again, because there's no communication, they're going by what they've been taught. Black men are these animals and whatever the case may be, and that's how you're looking at us.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going off of these cops saying, when I was 17 years old, I had a cousin, he got arrested for drugs or whatever. And the cops took him to jail and beat him to death in jail. That was like one of my first real understandings about how cops operate. At the time, I didn't really get it.
Yeah.
I didn't get it.
Until it hits home, close to home.
Right, and it's like, damn, like they took him to jail and then beat him in his jail cell. Think about what that does to you about how this works as a black man. And you're always seeing these different things. So you're seeing these things go on. You see what the media says about us. You're seeing what women say about us. You're seeing how a black man grows up. You're seeing you're seeing how jobs don't want to give you a shot. They don't want to give you a chance. They're not trying to help. You don't have no money. You got to go to the streets. Everything is working against us from the day we're born. As a black man, you have 3 strikes as you're born, and it's up because it's not fair that you actually have to get those strikes eliminated as you get older instead of actually having to get them. You already got them as you get, bruh. When you come through the door, you got 3 strikes. You don't believe me? Walk into a convenience store, want to watch you. They want to look at you. I gotta watch you. You go around the corner and get a drink. That's what they do, and I think that's very unfair that we have to, be subject to all these different things just holding us down and holding us back, and always having to try to
jump them hurdles.
And we ain't did nothing to even have to put the hurdles in our face. They just there because we're black men.
I think, at the same time, like I brought up the gender wars, I appreciate the women that don't play into the narratives.
Yes.
They speak, with objectivity. They don't just, I'm gonna stamp it as this because it's like we all got our personal, experience attached to a lot of things we say, and sometimes you gotta step away with it. But like I said, it's we got ones that's solid, that's really holding us down, because we need them.
Absolutely.
Definitely.
Absolutely.
We don't have them. It's worse than what it is. So, like we said, we've been, critical of the ones that's been confused with a lot of their critiques. But the other side of that, you got ones that's solid. They understand. They willing to understand. They're going out their way, and we got to do the same for them because they got to deal with it too. They saw their household with the probably removed black man, and if they're fortunate, the older brothers, the uncles or whatever, would step up and take some role in their life. So. A lot of them have seen even without their father, they still saw the positive black version of a man. It wasn't just this you know, the negative one we see on TV
and media and all that.
media and entertainment, you know. So, but I think, man, like, if we just dissect the plight, we could probably fix a lot of it. But some niggas just rather keep it and just not address it. And just like, dog, like,
and continue moving forward. That's
right.
the way things are.
That's what we know, nigga.
Yeah.
It's like,
Let's not
that shouldn't be what we know. Like,
I mean,
because the kids is watching.
Right, and it don't help that we not listen, regardless of what happens between, you know, a mother and father of a child, you know, understand things don't always work out. But if you had situations growing up where you came from certain backgrounds where you had to like substitute certain people, father figures, whatever the case may be, understand that y'all gotta work that shit out. So that child y'all got together, that's the kid, y'all got a child together, that don't happen to them to stop that cycle.
Yeah.
Regardless of what happens.
We know, we know, the world is already against them.
Right. Don't let that continue to happen. Stop that before even if you mad, y'all didn't get along, y'all separated, somebody cheated, somebody got hurt, it don't even matter at the point, because y'all gotta raise that child for that child not to make the same mistakes that y'all made. That's what it's about. And if y'all do that, you can stop this whole cycle of how we are portrayed. Again, you can't stop for what, you know, other people and how they want to view things. We can't stop that, and that's cool. They're gonna have their opinions and their views on how we supposed to live, whatever. I don't care about what their thoughts are, but you have to be able to say, okay, I can't change everybody, but in my immediate household, if I can change this right here, and I can start this right here, and I think if everybody takes that approach, it'll be a lot better than us having to go through this cycle of who's right, who's wrong, what's the situation. Women ain't that ain't the way to go.
We ain't winning because of that shit either.
You know what I'm saying?
Like,
and
it
then
ain't helping us at all.
Then it leads to people being angry, and then you know we get mad when we see, you know, the outside of our race, or all that leads to all that type of stuff. So it's like, it just, again, when you get out to this world, it's just so much anger in you. You just built up frustration from everything that you've already been through, and you still learning life. You shouldn't be angry and frustrated and ready to lose your mind, and you just hit 21.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You got a whole life ahead of you. I mean, my mindset for me didn't change, so I started hitting like 30 years old. Then I was like, okay, I gotta like get a hold on some of the things that I actually did, because I'm bugging out. You know what I mean? I actually looked in the mirror one day and was like, yo, wow. Like I told Sean, I was like, I looked in the mirror one day, I was like, I don't want to be the person I was anymore. But I can't figure out how to be like me. I just had that moment. Some people gotta need a little more push. Everybody just ain't as a self-starter as I am, and that's okay. That's okay. We all need help in some areas of our life. But if we're not helping each other, we end up in situations where there's no way out.
And I think that, you know, with the change mindset, it starts in the household, of course. But also, another one of the solutions that could, you know, help with all of this going on as far as the riot and how people view us as a race, the black race.
Yeah.
Another way that we can actually get that solved is, you know, the finances.
Absolutely.
Because it's like you were talking about, you know, a lot of the people with these riots and stuff, it seems like there's no strategy behind it all. And it's like, you know, you're burning down black-owned businesses, and it's just like looting, and it's just like, what is all this for? And I understand, you know, people are upset, and people, you know, are tired of all the happening with black people, but it's like how we can really, I guess, bring about change and, I guess, reverse cycle or whatever, is ownership, black ownership.
Yeah, because that's the thing, like, we do have people that's owning their business, and they built it, and that's steps to a lot of us having that financial freedom and ownership, because that's what we lack, along with equality. So it's like, it's counterproductive to go in your backyard and destroy it. Like, I'm not gonna be against the people that's for us. Right?
Yeah.
That don't make sense to me. You know, it's like, if you wanna, you know, wild out on Walmart, Target, all that, because Amazon, because they treat their workers like have a blast. I'm not gonna fight for them, but the others should be protected in the community. They shouldn't just be thrown out with everybody else.
People don't know that we have value in non-conformity. You know what I'm saying? There's actual value in it.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like, there are people out there that's doing things. There are people out there that's really just like, yo, you know, these are the steps I took. This is what it is. It's a situation. Yeah, we just don't know, or you know, we have done research to kind of see which ones are doing what need to be done out here. We just kind of like, because they don't have the Gucci name, or you know,
it's not this name, household name,
right?
Luxury brand, but half of them brands don't even with you.
Exactly. Don't even like black people at all.
They don't donate nothing to any cause.
Exactly.
Ain't trying to.
They don't.
But they use us because they know that we can.
I ain't seen one luxury brand put no money in Flint for their water, but belts and
gotta get that Gucci belt.
You know, I ain't okay. All right.
Yeah.
You know, and don't get it twisted. Like Dapper Dan's a part of Gucci. You know, so I know for him to be in that position, he trying to make as much change as possible. You know what I'm saying? But we just talking about the consumer with the brand, and like, it's still held in this high regard. It's like, you know, we all remember the T.I. boycott, like, don't with Gucci.
Oh yeah.
And you know, some people was like, like they was so quick to be against it, and it's like,
how dare you go that route with us? We're not doing that.
And it's like, now a lot of people, they don't even buy Gucci any fucking way, so they like, I don't even support shit at all. I don't even buy it anyway. So then the others that, you know,
they don't make my size. I'm cool.
So, you know, that's a good way to go about it. So
then you can make 4X.
And it's like, all right, man, like, what? How is? And you know, somebody may come through and fact check what I said and say they haven't. Somebody might come through and be like, well, no, they donated this. That's fine too.
Yeah.
They did it, but from my knowledge, I ain't seen it. Consistently. So, but somebody might fact check me and try to prove a point, and you know, for the sake of Gucci. But like, because you can, like, you see these statements coming out right now from different companies, and you kind of just gotta take it with a grain of salt and just look at it like, okay, all right, that whole statement you made, make sure you apply that to the workers.
Yeah.
True.
A lot of people come out and make them statements because it sounds good right now.
And they have to address it because it's current events. They want to be relevant.
I know I can get more sales.
Be known that they were involved and that they had something to say positive about it.
And they know.
Let's get out here and take a knee, guys, in front of everybody. We should get more profit from us taking a knee in front of the people.
A lot of people take advantage of adversity. It's a shame.
They do. And it's not cool, man. You know, like.
And that's even with us on social media, taking advantage of adversity.
Oh yeah,
contributing to a conversation because it's a trending hashtag.
The hashtag is so important. Like, it's. I have to get this tweet off.
Exactly.
I need this retweet to get off. Like,
makes you want to kill somebody.
And
yes, I said that.
Yeah.
It's like, damn, bro, like. That's really all that matter though. Like, when it boils down.
It's a lot of people. I'm gonna say it's a lot of people that want to be
arguments and copy and paste your thoughts from someone else that you know. Give us an MLK quote that everyone keeps saying. That's really just like.
I'd rather honestly see more than positive stuff.
Like, stop posting Black Death. Stop. Doesn't help anything. You're not bringing awareness to the situation. You can't bring awareness that's never ended. Just been going on since we came over this. So stop acting like you're bringing awareness by posting something. Know what you're trying to do is be trendy and get likes on your post for this stuff. Because what y'all are doing is not cool. Y'all sending people out there with no direction to end up getting themselves killed because of everything that's going on. Because when you post these things, you just make a person hate. You make them want to do wrong. You make them want to do somebody's bodily harm. But the thing about it is, it's not even the fact they're even doing, like, the rioting is not the issue. It's what rioting. You can't sit up there and riot for and say, I don't like this, or these group of people, all this, and you turn around and after, the rioting's over with, you go off and you still,
shoes.
You go buy this, you still go buy Nike, or you still go buy the belt, you still buy these different things. And again, I'm not exempt from this. I do the same thing. But again, I'm not out here like trying to set people up to just be angry ass people for no reason. That's not a cool thing to do. You can't just keep setting people up like that.
And sometimes I don't think people realize it is that when they post these things, they feel angry. And of course, it's fine to feel angry, because I've done this before myself without even realizing that I was doing it. Mm-hmm. It's when I see something and I'm sickened by it. I want people to see it because I want them to feel what I feel.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, it's kind of counterproductive. It's like, what is the solution at the end of the day? What can I do to personally help this situation become better? What can I do?
Absolutely.
We don't need to see more traumatic images to know we need justice. Like, we don't need it.
That's never, and we needed justice for forever.
It's like, certain platforms are posted because that's what they do. Mm-hmm. If they're on that side of the social activism, like, they're gonna be on top of that. They'll make us aware. Like, and even with them, I have a problem with it sometimes because they just put it up and it's just like, yo, you ain't give nobody no trigger warning. You ain't put nothing on. There's no disclaimer. Like, you just going off in the comment. In the caption about it, and it's like, man, like, I didn't need this today. Like, my day was okay.
You had to go do that.
And the thing is, it's like, even with some people, they get angry with some of their friends, people who follow them, because maybe they're not posting content regarding the recent events, or they're not posting enough, or whatever
about it.
And and it's like, you shouldn't attack people personally for what is it they put on their page, because for one, it's your own page. And honestly, they can still be going through what they're going through in real life. Imagine if we didn't have no Facebook or social media at all. Mm-hmm. People would just be dealing with it, and it's just like, I don't know. I feel like it's wrong for you to sit here and say, well, you're not posting this, or you don't care enough. It's just like, deal with it as you deal with it by yourself.
My only thing is, if you're gonna post it, post a solution behind it.
Exactly.
I don't care. You can't just, like, you're not TMZ, you're not Fox, you're not CNN. Don't act like it. Don't post up the death. Don't post up that death. And then you post up.
This sounded rough.
You post up George Floyd's death. You go repost up all these different deaths that happened in the last 5 to 10 years or things like that. That's not helping anything.
Because we all know that it's happening.
Yeah, and it's like, if I understand you're gonna post something like that, post a solution behind it. But y'all not doing that. Y'all are posting and it's doing it to make people angry, and now you wonder why they're burning down our own communities that we live in. Why? Because they're enraged. Some people have their own agenda, and that's a different situation. But you got people that are just enraged because they don't know what else to do. Me sitting here, Sean sitting here, Blair sitting here is an example of there is something else you can do. Because don't get it wrong, a part of me, when I first heard about what was going on, I wanted to go out there. I'm like, what is that going to do? That's not going to help nobody. Whether it be one other person looking at me or 3 other people looking at me, people are looking at me, and it's like, if I'm out there doing goofy, that don't help the next person. That don't help the next kid looking at me. That, like, what are we thinking? How do we stop this cycle of bull?
Think strategically.
Yeah. And it's like I was telling earlier, if you really want to hurt white people, you can't hurt them by burning down their building or trashing the Gucci store and stealing their stuff. Guess what? They got insurance policies.
Hit their pockets.
For millions, and if that don't happen, then guess what? They're going to get a bailout.
Yeah.
it's always gonna be some ways to benefit them. You really want to hurt these white people who are doing things to us? You hurt their pockets. What they care about the most. They care about power. Money equals power. You take away their power, you hurt them like no one else can hurt them. Like no one else can hurt them. And that's what we have to learn to do. We have to learn to, okay, we're gonna bank black, we're gonna shop black, we're gonna not give them their money, because what does it say? Like black people make up, what was the percentage of shit?
I'm not good with those percentages.
But I know I think Floyd knows it. But I know we make up a lot of the revenue that they get.
Oh yeah.
We make a lot of revenue
I
they
don't know
get.
the percentage, but yeah.
Yeah, we're like one of the biggest consumers out here.
Right. Because we don't own anything. All we do is buy. So if we stop buying their there's nothing they can do. And we can make demands after that because they want that money. We don't have to do business with them. We ain't gotta go in there and kick no doors down. We ain't gotta. You hurt Walmart, you hurt Target, you hurt Gucci, you hurt Fendi by saying I'm not shopping there.
Yeah.
Because once the business closes, they lose money. And when they lose money, they're not happy. They're not happy. And then when that happens, you can make demands after that. Voting is one thing. I think voting does work to an extent, but I don't believe this protesting thing and how we're going about rioting, looting, protesting. These things, we've already seen how they're going to turn out.
Like I was telling you, like, even when you're looking at what's going on here, like, it ain't just protesters. Like, you got neo-Nazis, you got anarchists, you got white nationalists in the mix. So it's not just one party going out.
Yeah.
So you gotta kind of siphon through and figure out who's who, because when we seeing our businesses being destroyed and ravished, it's like you first think like, damn, what we doing? But then it's like, wait, did we do that?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Because some of them in the mix, they trying
to make it worse.
Do something, whatever's involved with their own agenda. Yeah, and make it seem like it's on us.
And they've been catching people because people, of course, got their phones out, and they've been catching certain things like, yo, this gentleman in all black with an umbrella, and he's smashing windows while no one's doing anything of that. Yeah. It's like peaceful. They chanting and holding up signs.
Next thing you got some dude with a hammer and
throwing a Molotov, and he's just like, wait, that's
niggas around the corner with doing this shit. Like,
this is too like obvious.
He has an umbrella and a gas mask.
Like, it's too obvious,
nobody
bro.
saw that. The media didn't see that.
This is an agent, right? Like,
yeah.
I'm not really mad about. I'm not really mad that people are aligning themselves with some type of message and going out here and making it known how they feel about what's going on. The thing is, it's like I was just saying in the car, we gotta figure out what's the long game. Like, this is gonna be a long fight. It's not gonna be just, all right, we wild for the weekend and then we chill. It's like, nah, like we need to figure out where it goes, because solutions have to be solutions. We have to make demands now. Like someone has to step to the table for us and hold these people accountable, hold the system accountable. Even though it won't made for us, we gotta shake it up so it can be. And I feel like I've accepted that if we trying to make a revolution happen, it ain't gonna be pretty.
Yeah.
So the rioting, the looting is ugly, but the murder's ugly.
Yeah.
The misconduct from these officers is ugly. So it's like it's gonna boil over at some point, and it has. And the thing is like it's people taking the opportunity for their agenda in the mix of it. So can get misconstrued. That's why when people want to get entertainers involved and celebrities, I'm looking like,
yeah,
that is how Black Lives Matter got co-opted. Because those protesters in Ferguson, all the names, the ones that were really in the forefront, are all dead. They ended up dead in their vehicles and all type of random. So, like, Darren Sills was one of the faces of it, and he ain't with us no more. And he was on that. He was in the mix, like, fighting. So that's the thing you gotta keep aware. It's like, he was removed, but they propped up D-Ray in his blue vest, and it's just like, I don't trust this photo op that I keep seeing with him, supposedly being this like leader, but it's like, beware, like, you know, and
you getting paid for this, brother. You got the camera in your face.
It just looks, I don't know, man. So I keep thinking about Ferguson because before that we hadn't seen him with Freddie Gray. It was just similar. You know, it was like all the thugs and the criminals. We all know who was the president at the time that said that. I'm not gonna bash him for it, but y'all can take that how y'all want. So, you know, I don't really feel away when this current one says something like that. I'm like, well, that's what them presidents say.
Yeah.
So,
that's facts.
We know we can detect what is a thug is. So, but yeah, like we seen it before, and I think if this ain't for you, it ain't. If you're not built for that, it may be best to move accordingly with it, because just jumping out there trying to be this vigilante, it's gonna end
bad for you.
And I think that's what a lot of it is. It's just like, and then like I said, people just taking the opportunity to just be a part of the like, alright, niggas just running through the T-Mobile, let's get some iPhones and shit. And it's just like, I guess y'all mad about George? I don't. Yeah. But I'm not mad at, like, at the same time, I'm not really mad at it, because I'm like, they did the same at Black Wall Street. So they removed that from us. I mean, you look at the government, they looting in their own way too.
Yeah.
As we speak.
Yeah. Every last one of them. Everybody faces that be on camera.
It's looting's not this like, like, it's like, man,
this is more mental.
This is more mental. Like, and it's not me absolving this, because like I said, I'm still like, we should have protected our people and overall, because it's not helping the mission. But it's like, they won't think about, oh, the looting of Black Wall Street was, they didn't have that energy for that. They let it happen. And just took that patent and said, oh, well, this is Wall Street now.
I think, man, for me, honestly, it's just like, I get the rage. I get to an extent, I get the posting.
Yeah.
But again, the reason why we're getting beat at this, and we will continue to get beat at this, because we are not cerebral with it. There is no thought process behind rage. None whatsoever. And until we learn to be smart about what we're doing, until we learn to beat them at their own game, because again, they have the money. So they have all platforms to put out there what they want us to see. So we have nothing left but rage. And until we learn to control that, until we get a hold on that rage, until we learn to hit them where it hurts, where they don't see it coming, to continue this cycle. I'm gonna say this: if we continue this, we continue the way we're going, I want everybody to be aware of this, so everybody to really think about this. There is a chance, they're talking about 3rd-degree murder for what this nigga did. There's a chance, even if he gets convicted, he may get 18 months because he's on a 3rd degree. There's also a chance he may not get convicted. We cannot do the same thing we are doing right now. We can't go back to looting. We can't go back to rioting because that's what they would want. We got to be smarter than that, because next time we do that, they're going to have the military ready, and it's not going to be a pretty sight. Understand, the military are trained. They are mentally, their minds are mentally their minds are mentally like, what's I'm looking for? They're not, everything that they know is taken out, and they are taught to kill. They are the thugs that have the right to do what they do, because when our government says shoot and they point where to shoot, that's what they do. They're not coming to stand in front of us and let you talk to them like that. They're not coming to, try to take a knee and get on our side. They are coming for a reason. And I just don't want someone's child who's out there right now looting, someone's mother, someone's father, to be out there, and then they come, and next thing you know, we get a conviction or not guilty, or it may be, or they don't get a lot of time, and then they're not just cleaning up buildings, they're not cleaning up debris from buildings, cleaning up dead bodies. We can't let that happen. We have got to be smarter than that. We've got to learn to beat them at their own game. We have got to be better than what we have been. We have got to learn that the way that you beat them at their game is you have to eliminate their power, which is the money. If you can do that, you have a shot at getting the respect that we deserve across the board.
I agree. And I think it's all about spreading more positivity. Seeing a lot of these, Black Death posts, it's not going to do anyone any good. It's going to make people more angry.
Stop posting it.
And it's just going to fill people with more hate. So, if anything, and I'm going to include myself on this, is just to spread more positivity. Because we all could use a little bit more positivity, especially now in these times. And also, if you do feel the need to propose some type of solution. Or, find some type of way to get to the root of the problem, even if it's just having a conversation with other like-minded people.
Exercise your gun rights. That's what I think.
Yeah.
Short and sweet.
But again, this is just a conversation amongst us. We felt the need to go ahead and vent because there's a lot of emotions going on as of lately. So it helps to get it out and just have a conversation about it. But of course, we're not trying to disparage,
all of that.
Put down all white people, because we know not all white people are bad. We know not all cops are bad.
Yeah.
It's just,
just specific topic that
exactly.
we're touching on. We know we got allies out there that's in the mix, and like I said, they on one accord.
Mm-hmm.
It ain't about them. They know what time it is.
But just the ones out there kneeling right now, man, trying to help the situation out.
Exactly, and it's very much appreciated.
Yeah.
So we appreciate y'all for watching this video. Of course, for more content, just go ahead and hit the notification bell to get updates when I post new content. I'd definitely like to hear your thoughts and ideas and what you felt about this video in the comments below. But yeah, I'll catch y'all later. Y'all have a good one.